Hello again. We have been talking about choices, the choices we make in our lives, and how they can be for good or for bad. Everybody knows that. But when you're younger, I don't think we realize how much that affects your whole life. So if you choose your career, chances are, if you do have a family, you'll be a lot older. That can be good, but it can be also bad for women because everybody knows we just can't have kids as easily the older you are. That's just biology. But we were thinking the fruits of the Spirit and how they affect our lives and how you can make these choices to grow these fruits of the Spirit. And for those of you who maybe have never heard of the fruits of the Spirit, they're in the Bible, and they're things that God wants us to do. He wants us to have peace. He wants us to have patience. He wants to have long suffering. And He wants those things because that's how He is. Those things bring in how we're supposed to be, right?
Yes.
So to get peace, you have to almost live through a stressful time in order to develop finding peace within that stressful time, which is pretty easy, just living on earth. We're under stress.
And we were talking about how the time that we spend, the times that were not, stressful times, to find peace, you have to find God. You have to spend time with God.
Right.
It's where the fruit of the Spirit comes in. And remember, you're talking about being grafted, like the Bible says.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're connected to the vine.
Yes.
The vine grows. We're growing on the vine, and the vine produces fruit in us. I also wondered about, most of my life, I haven't made all right decisions, but I became a Christian pretty young, 17, give or take. And so when I had my children, I would read my Bible sporadically. I mean, at first it was kind of sporadic. And then I thought, well, I'm going to read it every day. And I had an old lady tell me, now I'm the old lady, but old Mabel, she said, I read my Bible from beginning to end. And that really struck something in me. So I began to do that back in the 80s, just trying to be consistent. I didn't read a chapter every day. It was mostly I just read a little bit every day. And I didn't pay attention to how long it took me. But I think that builds those fruits. You're reading about God. You're knowing what's right and wrong. And it just brings out, good fruit.
Yes, I agree.
So how do we do that in everyday life? Don't run away from your problems. Face them head on. With prayer, with reading the Bible, what would God have you do? And don't try to avoid them. And I mean, it can be anything. You can't avoid your bills. You don't pay your bills, you're in trouble. You can't avoid your child misbehaving. You can't avoid conflict with your spouse. That usually doesn't end well. You can't run from the cops. Have you tried that?
No. Have you?
I had a friend. Just asking for a friend. I did. It didn't go well for her either.
So don't run from them.
So don't run from the cops.
Pray with them.
It is hard. We know life is hard. But as you grow in God, grow older, you'll start to realize that these things are phases. I was talking to Selena. She had her children a little before me, so mine were younger than her oldest ones. And I would go to her, oh my gosh, this child's doing this. She goes, oh, I remember that phase. And I would think, oh, it's just a phase. Our whole life is just phases. That's how I see it. One phase after the other. And it's just a bit of time. It'll pass. What's the Bible say? It says something like, this too will pass. Is that a Bible verse?
I'm not sure.
Is that Shakespeare?
I think it's Shakespeare.
I think it's Shakespeare. There's a verse where Paul talks about, pressing on to what's forward, letting go of the past. It's just pieces of your life that go forward. I guess that's not necessarily a phase, but it's true. Those things pass. Each thing passes. If you're having a hard day, it's going to pass. Of course, the good days pass too. But
But you can't get so caught up in something that's going wrong, because it's not going to be there your whole life.
Yeah, it's your children. They'll grow and they'll change,
and you'll miss them.
And you'll miss it. My son used to take and throw things down the stairs, and I'd be like, "Oh, buddy," and I'd have to go get it up. And now it just cracks me up thinking that he used to do that. Little stinker. But God, life is good. Really, it is. And even with all the bad things, just know that it's going to pass. It's going to be okay. You don't have to dread your tomorrows, because things do get better if you're in a bad spot. And if you're having a good time right now, enjoy it. And because the next little trial will come, but you'll know it's going to be good again. I think the fruits of the Spirit play into that simply because we're finding peace through living. We're finding happiness. Well, that's not one of the fruits of the Spirit.
Joy.
But joy is. So you find joy in your life, joy in your children, joy in your house, whatever you're doing.
And love, joy, peace, patience. You definitely have patience with children.
You do. And it's good. Because what used to bug me when I was young, don't bug me. I've trained all my kids to drive. Doesn't bother me at all. Yeah, it does bother her. Maybe that's not a good example. But there's things that don't you find that when you were younger that used to bother you, and now you look at it and it's like, yeah, it's just not that. You just have patience for it.
I don't like riding with my grandchildren who are learning to drive. Sorry.
But what about the other things? Oh my gosh.
Yes, there are a lot of things. I babysit, and there's so many things that I think, oh, I should have acted differently with my children because it just wasn't the big deal I thought it was.
I know. There's a lot of things. My mother would say, you really shouldn't make a big deal out of spilt milk. And I was young then, and I was like, yeah, but it's all over the place. But now I see what she means. It's like, it's just spilt milk. It's not a big deal. Yeah.
This too shall pass.
Yes. And that's where the long suffering comes in, I guess. Because long suffering isn't that different than patience? Or is it the same? Is that the same?
I think it's the same in the Bible and the list of the fruits of the Spirit.
Is it?
Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control.
Okay. Self-control. Let's not talk about that. Next time. Next year.
We'll get it.
We'll get it there. That's right. We're just going to work on the others. Anything else? Do you got?
Can't think of anything.
Can't either. See you next week.